episode of Finding Your Frequency. I'm Brian Sexton, joined today by Rodney G.B. Clements from RN Enterprises. Rodney, welcome.
Hello, Mr. Sexton. How are you, sir?
Well, for the Mr. stuff, I only use that on Sundays. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about RN Enterprises.
Okay.
You were a nurse.
I am a nurse.
You are a nurse.
30 years.
But you're not acting like a nurse because you've started this fabulous business. So tell me about the genesis of RN Enterprises. What do you do?
Okay.
How well do you do it? And how did you grow it so big?
Okay. I still see patients. I have a patient tonight, actually, downtown. Yes. Well, long story short, short story long. I
like that one.
Right. I went to the University of Florida, go Gators.
Yeah.
And I was in the Navy Marine ROTC program. And after attempting to be a nuclear engineer on subs, I changed after a year and went into healthcare and nursing. And that's another story, but I did do that. And I went into pediatrics and emergency medicine, and I've worked all over the country doing, specializing in IV therapy. And about 20 years ago, I got into home infusion therapy, which is now a growing industry across the country.
What's the difference between home infusion therapy and these vitamin drips that you see?
Okay, great. Great question. Yes, everybody sees these vitamin hydration places that are popping up. That's all private pay, cash. A lot of times people use that to kind of recover from having too much fun, or maybe they just, anyone can benefit from getting IV fluid. So that's a little niche too. It's not typically medically indicated necessarily.
So it's more of a wellness thing.
Yes, it's wellness. Yes, and but they are thriving. But what we do is we administer prescribed medications that physicians order to maybe neurology patients or somebody that has a condition like Crohn's disease, for example.
And so you've gone into the home. How big has your organization gotten from just you out there doing it?
Yes, I saw over 10,000 patients across the country over, of course, a span of a couple decades. Yes, me personally. Okay. And around the world, actually. We've done a lot of different things. But anyway, now we have grown into a network of more than 500 nurses in 35 states. Wow. The demand is so high, and we have a great team here that evaluates potential nurses for the job. It's tough to get on our team, but we have a pretty high satisfaction of nurses. They're frustrated in the hospitals and such. So if you're a nurse, you're trying to look for something different, and you can work independently, and you have good IV skills, and you're good with people, and you're not afraid to go into different neighborhoods, good and bad, then this could be for you.
Is this where medical care is going, more in the home instead of in clinics or in hospitals?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now the trend is definitely out of the hospital, out of the infusion centers to home. Every therapy you get in the hospital, you can get at home now. A lot of people don't realize that that's an opportunity for you to have an expert nurse come to your home, have one-on-one therapy. The outcomes are just as good or better. Patient satisfaction's improved, and it's actually more cost-effective rather than being in the hospital.
So, how do you connect with people? Or is it a referral from a doctor, or do they pick up the phone and call you?
Great question. Some physicians' offices we have direct relationships with. They'll come to us and we'll find a pharmacy. Traditionally, though, a doctor's office will send a patient or referral to a pharmacy, and that pharmacy will then subcontract to a nursing agency like ourselves, and then we'll find the appropriate nurse in that region that can do the job, and then we will go out. The pharmacy will ship the medication and the supplies directly to the patient. And then we will send a nurse out that knows how to appropriately open up this very expensive medicine, mix it, administer it, monitor the patient.
That's important because you're not sending a tech. You're not sending a medical assistant. You're sending a nurse.
These are high-level registered nurses, infusion nurses, thus RN Enterprises.
So if somebody's watching this and they think, I'd rather have it at home, what's their course of action?
You can ask your doctor. A lot of times patients don't realize they're going to infusion centers, and most physicians will be open to the idea of sending them home. Just ask your doctor.
All right. So on Finding Your Frequency, I get the last three questions. They're mine. We've been talking about you. Now we're talking about me.
Great.
Ready? Well, we're talking about you in my lens.
Okay.
Every successful person has an obstacle they've overcome, a defining moment in their life. What's yours?
Okay. Great question. Well, as a nurse, I was spending many years on night shift in the ER. I learned a lot. I loved it. It was tough. It's tough, though. You can ask any nurse out there. It just really beats you down physically and mentally, emotionally, everything. And I put my heart and soul into it. I realized home infusion was a thing. I got into it, and I made it my passion. And I was working for different companies as just part-time. And then I was not a full-time employee anywhere, so it was fine. But these pharmacies didn't like that I was working for other places, and so I was kind of at the point where I had to make a decision. So I had been with these places for 3 different pharmacies for 15 years plus, and overnight, within a 10-day span, I quit all my jobs, and I went out on my own and tried to open this company, and because I knew the demand for infusion nursing was high, and that was back in like 2018. So it's been 7 years or so.
And the business is booming.
It's booming. We're doubling just about every year. The demand is very high. Measured growth. We don't, it's tough to get on our team, but we have a great team. Our back office and the nurses out in the field are excellent.
So wrap it up with this. There's some piece of advice that you can give to people who are entrepreneurial, who want a better life for themselves, who want to go be successful. Based on your experience, what's one thing that people can take away from living their best life and having an opportunity to do what you've done?
Well, it's cliche, but life is short, and you need to, first of all, you're never done paying your dues. Even now, you have to constantly work hard and just put the most you can into it. But, I was a little bit more of a risk taker when I was younger, but you still need to take a risk sometimes and just go for it and just get out there. If you know what you're doing, you don't really have to compromise. You should have your own set of values and your own kind of a code that you follow. And so I would just say, trust your instincts and go for it.
There you go. A piece of advice to help you find your frequency. Rodney, thanks
sir.
so much, and
Thank you.
continued success with RN Enterprises.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time right here on Finding Your Frequency.